Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetra K. And I am the 5-star general, Tarsha Jackson. I tried to tell you. I reached out to you. You ignored 5-star. Now tonight, we brought your family in the building. You got some bullshit going on, little mama. And I ain't gonna stop until I get you a nice, quiet seat in a federal penitentiary. You, your daddy, your brother, and your sister. Say, I'm finna get into it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. Because without you guys, we would not have a show. And like Donovan always say, man, you the best audience in the world. So we really appreciate you taking the time out to tune in. I really don't have no news. I woke up, I'm from the great state of Texas. I'm in Minneapolis and woke up and could not see the ground this morning. It was snow every goddamn well. My name Monroe, not Frosty. So, I had to make adjustments and was sliding all over the road trying to ride until they came through with the little bulldozer thing and cleared something out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna sit my big ass still and I ain't finna try to go nowhere. I ain't got no business going. So, it's good to see y'all, man. And just if you live in a warm climate, be thankful for the small things. Donovan, what's going on?
Yes. It is Tuesday. Welcome to the War Zone, the greatest conversation on the internet. Part of the new black media. We're going to cover stories that the national media is not going to cover. So all of our regular friends out there, we don't call you fans, we call you friends. Welcome to the show and welcome to our guests. In the news today, and I'm just going to go particularly black news. The Biden education nominee touted diversity speaker who claims school spirit murders black children. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. But the one thing that really caught my eye today, collaborate, don't duplicate. How black women's groups help deliver the election to Biden and Harris. Okay, we like this black girl magic stuff. The black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. Yes, girl. Yes, you guys do it. If we don't get our damn reparations or if we don't get some kind of justice done, who do we got to blame? The white guy who wasn't going to give it to us anyway, or should we be blaming black women? So be careful for what you ask for. 24 hours to go, less than 24 hours to go. Joe Biden will be elected the new president of the United States. Once again, in his first 100 days, nothing on the black agenda for black people who got him the presidency. But yep, we're out there dancing in the streets, having a good old time. And we love to complain about what massa ain't doing for us when we should be doing for ourselves. This is the kind of stuff we kind of tell you guys about. Donald Trump will be leaving early tomorrow morning as he flies down to Florida. And basically, you guys enjoy the inauguration tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of performers there and a lot of HBCUs and stuff like that. I'm not going to be watching it because I already know what to expect these next 4 years. Nothing. Demetra?
So hello, everybody, and hello to our guests. We are going to get into the topic at hand as soon as Gary comes back. But we are waiting for Trump to issue they say 100 pardons or so, give or take. And one of those people I just learned that may be getting a pardon is, Joe, I forget his last name, but the Tiger King. You guys heard of the Tiger King? It was during the pandemic, when the pandemic first started. Netflix released a series called The Tiger King, and it was like a 8-part series about this man who was feuding with this other lady named Carol Baskin, and he ends up going to prison for a very long time. And so it is said that Joe's team is expecting for Trump to pardon him. Joe Exotic, there you go, Janelle. That's his name, Joe Exotic. And he's looking to be pardoned tonight. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly who Trump issues a pardon to. Now, I know I'm doing some wishful thinking, but it would be nice if some of those Black Panthers would get a pardon, but, you know, we won't hold our breath. And so, Gary, what's going on tonight?
Crooked ass politicians in Houston, as usual. Now, I know y'all watching. You politicians, you watching. You judges, some of y'all crooked too. You watching. I want you to wrap your mind around this. When I send out a phone call and I tell your good political ass to call me, you need to stop what you're doing and you need to call me. Well, if you get a little froggy and decide today I'm gonna be grown, the hell with that Negro, I'm gonna dig off in your business. Now, I probably done already digged off in your business. That's why I'm telling your ass to call me. Well, you don't want to do that. Well, months and months ago, I started looking at some things with Tarsha Jackson. And I had to figure out, who is this lady? So of course, you know, when I start digging, I'm trying to peel back every layer of the onion. I'm trying to peel back every single layer of the onion. That means, Miss Jackson, I want to know where you stay, how long you stay there, who you lived with, was you married, did you have a side piece? I want to know all your business. And I went and dug and found all your business, and I ain't through digging. Now, I respectfully ask you that you can play this game along with your boss, Mayor Turner, the city attorney, and not resign your position. But if you choose not to, I am going to destroy you with a smile on my face. And I'm going to do it for every person in District B. So it's amazing how people connect, Donovan. How sometimes the higher power has a way of putting people in your life just for no apparent reason. I'm looking at two beautiful African American females sitting on my screen. Tarsha, they look familiar. That's your cousins. That's your cousins. You know, the ones that you messed over their mama? With the real estate fraud, huh? Hey, by the way, if you go get one of your crooked judges and you want to sue me, I got a lawnmower because you ain't getting nothing else up out of me. Oh, I'm going to tell on your motherfucking ass tonight. So, Mr. Mayor and your city attorney, watch closely. Because if you get the bucket, I'm coming for your ass too. I'm just telling you. These your cousins right here, Tasha. You know, you see them your cousins. You know, the cousins that know that you ain't never lived in District B. The cousins that know about the fake documents to get the loans. The fake companies that you run with your kinfolk. And by the way, you ladies now have the ultimate protection. Because I heard that somebody on the other side of the ball that I'm talking about like to play like they gangster. Well, I tell you what, my team better than yours. You ain't got to worry about nobody doing nothing to you. Tonight, you get to have the flow and tell these people what they really want to know. How y'all doing? Let me unmute your microphone. There you go. How y'all doing?
Thank you. We're fine. Thanks for having us.
Could you introduce yourself, please?
Well, I'm Mary. And I'm Leonardo, and we're Tarsha Jackson's cousins. First cousins through the our moms and sisters. And basically we're just on here to tell our story. We're kind of tired. It's been going on since like 2006, right after our grandmother passed. The property went up through different deeds and different paperwork. We have paperwork, and where my grandfather and that was switched over into their name, and it starts off.
Put that deed up for me.
These are the actual. He have it. Okay, we have the actual deed with our grandmother and our grandfather name still on it. Then after so long, in 2006, September 15, 2006, there was an affidavit of notice to the debtors, affidavit of military status. So somebody that was in the military had the right to get an affidavit for the property. And then right after that, and on the 9/25/2006, the property went into like being switched over, the deed into their mother's name, went through N&J Mortgage.
So that there, what you're looking at, that's a part of the false document. This is where you will see all names on there. The first name, all of these are my aunt's names. So the first one is Miss Paula, that's my aunt. Then you also have Miss Selma, that's my aunt. Now these names was actually forged on there. Those are not written by the original people.
So let me ask you a question. The document I'm looking at, it was used to get this property, right?
Right.
Tarsha Jackson involved in this, am I correct?
Right.
Right.
And you're telling me that the names on the document, you verified with your aunts and whoever that they never signed this document.
Correct.
Exactly.
Keep going.
And once they did it, they started getting different loans.
And actually, it looks like they're selling the property amongst each other.
Right.
But getting money out of it.
I tell you something I see right now. Go back to that page, Demetra.
They're all signed by one hand.
It's all the same handwriting.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
And that's a given right there by it being written by the same handwriting. And we looked through the papers, and one of the papers on that document right there, the first page, let me see, the first page is actually the one where, is this the one where they had let me find the document that said that, no, that's not the one I'm talking about, where they had the actual, like this is, the agent and attorney in fact. And I looked up what the agent and attorney in fact is, and it has two of the sisters as the agent and attorney in fact on it. And so I was like, what's the agent and attorney in fact? And I looked it up. Basically, they are basically in a position of an attorney that just doesn't do certain legal work. And I was like, okay.
Well, standing in the up for the other ones.
Standing in a place for everybody else. And I'm not certain if you can see that page.
I have that one.
You have this one too? It's the general warranty deed, notice of confidentiality, done 9/25/2006.
You got that one, D?
Yep, I sent it.
Hold on, let's see if she can get it up.
Okay, in the meantime, let me ask you a question. Now, for those of you guys that don't know this, when you run for office, it costs a lot of money. And I'm just going to speculate here real quick. Why would your cousin or whoever did these deeds would do that? Do you think that this was done in connection with her running for office?
My opinion, yes.
Yes, because on one of them they got like 100-some thousand, and this property has been flipped.
125,000.
This one says 125,000. It's been flipped so many times over the years. They got over like $500,000 out of this or more, and it's continuing. I think last year or the year before they did it again, but it's like, we're trying to figure out. The funny thing is, you never know until you start researching again. And we almost lost the property because of the liens and the different things. And we wasn't aware that they were still doing this, and we were trying to fix it. And my mom's checks were actually put into their dad's name and different things like that. We've been going through, like she'll pay it, and then his name is put on things. And we're going through different things, trying to figure out how's all this happening.
Now, here's the form I want to. This is the form that concerned me. Now, if we go to the notice of public hearing, that was a notice of public hearing. It says October the 31st of 2008.
October.
Now, if we go to that one, on the third page of that one, now this is showing that people has went to court behind the property. Now, on this paper here, it shows more names that they were supposed to have signed, and on the thing it says that these people showed up in court for this property.
So did the people actually show up in court?
They did not show up in the court. They didn't even sign their names on this paper. And again, it's forged names on this paper. How when they didn't show up into court? They didn't even know it was they had to go to court as anything on their property concerning court.
And on this one, all the signatures are the same handwriting.
It says the following persons claiming an interest in the property appeared at the hearing. And it has all their names on there. I'm like, my mama did not appear at this hearing. I'm quite sure the other people on here did not appear at this hearing. So who did you have standing in her place saying that she appeared at this hearing? Who?
So
now you're going through these hearings and through these court cases. At any time has the Tarsha Jackson side of this tried to get this thrown out of court?
Yes, just recently. We hired my mom hired an attorney like 2 years ago, and we're still going through because of COVID. It's kind of been on a hold, and we recently spoke with the guy, and he said that they tried to have it thrown out, but the judge rejected it. And this was like last month.
Do you guys know Daryl Leroy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Leroy say his mom didn't go to court either. He in the comments.
No, she didn't.
That's the point. Nobody.
Tarsha, your people got a problem with you, Mr. Mayor. What you gonna do about this crook?
And I'm trying to think. My thing is,
you can go deep.
My thing is, because of the role that Tarsha is trying to play, they're gonna try to keep her hands clean.
Right.
And she keeps saying that she have nothing to do with the property, but you told us that you got money tied up in the property. So my thing is, what money you got tied up in the property that you said you have nothing to do with?
Well, let me ask a question, because this Deegan and Donovan, just listen, because you're gonna get there. Now she say she ain't got nothing to do with the property, right?
Exactly.
Y'all see me smiling, right? She ain't got nothing to do with it. That's what she said, right? Mr. Mayor, do you know what a text message is? It has a date stamp on it. Is there any texts that can validate that she knows exactly what's going on, ladies?
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, we have the text. Oh, dang, where's my phone? Where's my phone?
I'm gonna have you doing, Tarsha, go listen to some New Orleans music, because I'm gonna have you doing the bounce that ass straight up out of District B City Council.
Yeah, because don't worry about the phone. Like just give an approximate date, because you already have the phone, you have the proof. Just just give us an approximate date or whatever. But
it's like we had this argument like 3 years ago with them, 3 or 4 years ago with them, and see if you can find it.
I ain't gonna find my phone. My phone got washed out.
Where's my phone?
But here's my question, and let's give a little background for the people in the thing. Now, we know this lady has ran for office. We know running for office takes a lot of money.
Right.
What is the motivate, in your opinion, what is the motivation behind all of this changing money and flipping the property and everything like that? And I guess it excludes you guys from getting any of the estate. So she basically came in there and just
basically
it's greed.
It's greed. It's like it's literally greed. They took. I mean, and the thing was, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why would you do this to your grandparents who would be gone. And a lot of these documents is with their names on it, signed as if they gave something or signed something, and they've been dead since 2005. And this is 2006, 2007, 2008. Their names are on documents as though they're still alive. This is greed, and this is evil, and it's evil. And I know they're doing it for money because they go on trips. They have to show the trips they done did everything. I'm like, okay, why y'all still doing this? It's collateral to show that to buy new properties is what they're doing, and they claim they have new properties other places. We don't know where.
Look into N&J Mortgage.
Look into
matter of fact, pull up those companies that they've been working. They've been creating their own companies, doing this stuff through their own company supposedly be, and they're all over these documents.
Hold on a second, Demetra. I sent you a file and it should have an arrow on the front. It's a video. Do you see it? Hold on. This is the file you're talking about, ma'am?
Let's see. False statement to obtain credit.
That's a background check. Which one is that?
No. Hold on a second. Hold on. Rewind it, Demetri, to the beginning.
To the beginning. Oh.
No. Go back to your file you just had up. Okay, stop right there.
Okay.
So these are
That's Claudette.
Okay,
that's her sister.
Let that play for a second. Let that play, Ms. D. So you'll see that the people Tarsha is in running the company with have been to jail.
That's her sister.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any time that Tarsha Jackson has been to jail and maybe her record has been sealed?
From my understanding, she have. But once I get that form, I'm gonna make sure I send it to you. But I just found out she was in there.
I can't answer that one because I don't know that.
From my understanding is if you start looking out of Houston, Texas, you'll find some on her. But I make sure I will get that information and send it to you. Because I like documents too. I want to show facts.
Now when you're digging off and you're looking into the companies and you start seeing the same names in these companies. So Donovan, the question you just asked, can you ask it to me?
Absolutely. So
ask me that question.
Okay, 5 stars. So what is the modus operandi of her doing all of this and taking all of this money? You know, what is she, you know, what's the motive behind doing all this?
Let me say this here. The last person that sat and built a hell of a portfolio of real estate properties in District B. When you have the same ability, especially when you can get the properties, flip the properties, do your thing, make paperwork appear and disappear, then you end up in the same position. You can build your portfolio off of one of the poorest districts in Houston that has a bunch of properties available. And all you need is the startup capital. You know that. I mean, Walter taught us stuff like that. You just need the startup capital to get you one. One will get you three. Three will get you six. So if they can get that one and start flipping, you know what I'm saying? Then it is what it is. I want to know, and Demetri, maybe you can help me with this because you're too quiet tonight. I want to know, because you're dealing with a politician who seems to have a lot of baggage around her of people with criminal records and different things like that. It may not be legal to be with these type of people, but in the eyes of the political world, it could be immoral. It could be immoral. Whether it's the sister who's been to jail for felonies, for check fraud and different things, whether it's the brothers or whoever then killed somebody in the family, you know, it's a lot of stuff going on with this one particular person that the city of Houston has decided we're going to wrap our arms around this criminal and we're going to protect her. Do we ever get to a point where we say a politician has too much baggage based on the type of people they're surrounded by?
You're asking me? I mean, that's what politicians are. Politicians usually have a lot of baggage. A lot of times when politicians are selected, it is because they have low morals and they're unscrupulous, if you will. A lot of the times, I don't say most of the time, a lot of times they're not looking for a straight edge politician because they won't be a rubber stamp for corruption. And so, you know, and all of this is alleged because, you know, we just want to put that out there in case somebody comes and tries to, you know, do anything. But if what we're hearing is true about Miss Jackson, she's perfect. She's perfect for the job. She's not going to rock the boat. She's not going to say, well, that seems wrong. I don't want to do it. She's, you know, obviously, if she's not living in the right district, she's willing to break the law in order to help whoever the puppeteers are, because there's definitely some puppeteers who are driving her to do what she's doing. But I want to play devil's advocate for just a little bit. And ladies, I want to ask you guys this. what if somebody says, because I'm trying to figure out how to really phrase this. What if somebody says, well, you guys are just jealous. You all are just hating on her. And again, I'm playing devil's advocate because, somebody might be thinking that. You're just jealous. You're hating. Why are you coming out and airing the family's dirty laundry? And couldn't you just have not said anything? So what do you say to that?
This is what I'm going to say to that one. I don't care what anybody got to say when it comes to how you feel or how you think I feel about a Tarsha Taliban. I'm sorry, not Taliban. I'm thinking about Tarsha. I have two cousins. I'm sorry, Taliban. I'm sorry, but Jackson. When I think about Tarsha Jackson, when it comes to my mother being taken advantage of over and over again, what somebody else thinks does not matter. Now I'm gonna say this: when you say you telling our family baggage. How many black people stand up and say we need to stop sweeping stuff under the rug? So you expect me to be that same black person and continue to sweep stuff going on to me under the rug?
Now, it's not going to happen. Has anybody accused you all of taking that road, of airing the family's dirty laundry?
No. I've been told that for years. That's why it does not even bother me. I do not care. Because if I say if it's wrong, I'm going to stand up and say it's wrong. If it was my sister, I would tell her she's wrong. When it's my children, I tell them when they're wrong. And when it comes to anybody else, especially when it's going towards my mama, it's going to be wrong.
To be honest, and I definitely, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, to be honest, we don't air the family's dirty laundry. We're airing this. Because it's a lot going on with this. And my mom is the one for years been paying this, and she's going in the hole over $70,000 of paying this property, trying to get it fixed and everything. And if this was a different way, if she would have did this differently and just honestly just went and built her money, because I'm a supporter of my family, I would be happy for Tarsha. But right now, no, because she basically just tearing my mom down, tearing the family down. You had the houses that was on that property bulldozed for your own personal gain. My grandmother and their memories were wiped off for y'all business purposes. It goes beyond it's nothing. It goes beyond jealousy. I'm not jealous of Tarsha at all. I'm happy if she would have did this correctly. So it's not about she got in there and somebody's jealous. It's about you tore your family down to get where you are. Why?
So, and maybe I've missed this. So forgive me. So obviously you guys have had a conversation with her before this point, and her stance is what? Like, what is her? What does she say to these? The things that you all are saying? She basically stole the properties and had the deeds forged. What is she saying?
Well, we said they stole the property. So she ain't by herself. They stole the property. Now, the only thing she had to say concerning the property is she got too much money tied in it. So they want us to pay them back for what they put into the property. But you done nothing to the property. If you go to that property, there's nothing done to that property out of all this time. Nothing. It's only one church on there. How much money are you putting to fix that church up that your grandmother built with her own two hands?
There's no houses. It's nothing there. Just that church, and that's it.
You have some of us and some cousins that get there and get on our hands and knees trying to put walls and fix that. What have you done? Nothing. So where did the money that you supposed to have tied up in this property go? Tell me that.
So how many is it of you guys, in addition to you two, who are asserting that she is committed these crimes? There's quite a few other, because I saw one other family member, I believe it to be in the comment section. Are there way more than just you three? What's going on with that?
It's way more. It's a lot more. It's just we're not afraid to speak.
It's more.
And why are they afraid to speak?
We're not gonna say they're afraid to speak.
We're not gonna say they're afraid to speak, but a lot of them don't want the confusion, and then a lot of them kind of do fear the harm that may come out of it.
At first, let me say it for
a second, Gary. Speak to the harm. Like, what harm are they expecting, or fear may come, and where is this harm going to be coming from?
Okay, listen. Cain slew Abel. Enough, right there.
I'm sorry. Who was that?
Cain slew Abel.
And who was Cain slew Abel?
Cain from the Bible. They're willing to put your family down.
They've killed family members before.
Yes, it would happen.
So let's say there are a number of people in our family who actually value family,
and
who actually knows how to get, who actually will not do in the home. But you have some who don't care.
Yeah, that blood means nothing. It's straight water.
That's why it's so. That's why some people are so comfortable in doing things like this, because you have no remorse of what it is that you're doing. And I'm not gonna lie and say that my mind didn't think about, okay, what would happen, because I got children, I have a grandbaby, but I also have, like, I look, if I'm gonna stand up and say I got faith in God, I gotta believe that. I gotta believe that, and I'm not gonna continue to shut up, because if we continue to shut up and allow you to put fear in our hearts, guess what? Nothing will ever get done.
And so I want to be clear. So it said or alleged that they, whoever they are, have I guess harmed people, and somebody said murder. Is that what we're hearing? They've actually murdered to continue doing what they're doing.
Well, not this. This right here has something different, but towards.
They're willing to do.
Well, let's just say you have ruthless people who are, they're like those. Well, we'll do this, we'll do that, or we gonna get this, we gonna get that, or
they're ruthless enough to put you down.
And I'm gonna say when somebody tell you who they are, believe them. That's what I say. But guess what? I mean, still got to get out the door today. If you do what you do, maybe it was God's purpose for me to go wherever or whatever happens. But something has to stop. Something, because my thing is, you just put this girl in District B. People that are going to be running and helping her do stuff have all kind of bad backgrounds. They have said, admitted to doing all kind of theft. How many people in our community, Tarsha, will you turn your head to when it comes to your sisters and your dad stealing property from them?
Exactly.
How many times will you turn your head and assume that you did not see? And to me, you could say that you are not the one who did this. You're not the one. It was that person. But then you benefit from it. You're just as guilty.
And if they're doing it to the family, trust and believe they'll do it to somebody else. And
so have you ladies and anybody else had a chance to speak to, let's say, Mayor Turner or anybody else who may be able to change the trajectory of what happened with that election? Have you guys had a chance to have your voices heard?
We actually last year went to one of her debates, and they told us we couldn't heckle her. We had to give them the questions so they can ask her the questions. And one of the questions on there was, what would you do if you knew one of your family members was a thief and stealing other people's properties? And she didn't answer that one. She went over that question. So they are these people are well aware. We went to the points of even posting it on Facebook and everywhere.
Which was deleted.
It was deleted.
Emailed all kind of people.
We emailed the news. We've done so many different things, which they ignored it.
No
We've done so many different things. And this is the first time we've actually gotten somebody that's willing to hear what we've been going through for a while.
So what happens because am I correct in hearing that there is a lawsuit going forward?
Right.
So what happens, God forbid, is not successful and her seat is not overturned? Then what's your next course of action?
Right now, we really
don't know. Right now, when we get there,
because right now we're in this lawsuit and we're trying to get that part done. So when we get to that point, we
keep fighting.
Just because we're gonna fight to the end. We're not giving up.
Keep fighting. Because I'm like, y'all have somebody paying off for all of y'all debt. That's not right. Come on, that's not right. She's paying off for all of your debt, stuff that you and your dad and them did.
So let me ask you this, just so that we can all be clear. We are talking about a property that has been in the family for years, that was deeded to the descendants of your grandparents.
Right.
And this is a blood cousin,
right?
Or is this a cousin by marriage?
She's a blood cousin.
Okay, she's a blood cousin. So now you guys all have a part, and she has a small part and a small say.
No. See this. Let me tell you.
That's what
The property was given to Curtis Leroy. Curtis Leroy is our grandfather. The property came from his parents. Now, when he married my grandmother, my grandmother already had a child, which is Tarsha's mother. So my grandmother and my grandfather had all of their other children together after. So once he passed, that property goes to my grandmother, and then the property goes to the children between my grandmother and my grandfather. So that excludes Tarsha. Now, the type of family we are, we wouldn't just exclude her because she's still family.
Right.
That's just the way we think. But that's not the way they think. They don't think we still family because we still got the same grandmother. You think that's your grandfather. And if that was your grandfather, and it's, correct me if I'm wrong, the many times that y'all have said that's y'all grandfather, and you excluded him out, why you want his property?
And then you just thanked him when you won.
Now you've been rejecting him for years. Why now want his property?
And just thanked him. I want to thank my grandfather Curtis Leroy. You just thanked him.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you say that because in a lot of Black families, that kind of stuff goes on, you know, and I've seen it, you know, firsthand in my family where this person, they might be a half cousin, but, you know, we still include them.
Right.
But then somebody on their family dies. Oh, you know, no, that's my money, not y'all. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then it's not reciprocated. So now that she's on this seat, and when she was running for this office, this litigation was going on back and forth before she ran for the office.
Right.
So now I'm just going to play a devil's advocate myself, being out here in California, because there is no way in California that could have gotten away. I mean, people have tried it, but there's just no way. There's just too many layers you have to go through in the California court system for that not to happen. I mean, you got to have some really good lawyers. But so she's now sitting in a seat that is lucrative. Why doesn't she just pay the money back or pay you guys off and everybody be happy?
Because we owe them for taking care of the property.
Which is what she said.
That's what she told us. We owe them for demolishing the houses and taking care of the property. When, if you go look it up, there's nothing on there. The grass doesn't get cut by them. We pay somebody to cut it. You tore down what was there. That church looks horrible compared to what it was before you touched it.
The property actually looked worse than what it did now because that property had all kind of old stuff on there.
And
somebody else came in and cleaned that off. They didn't help clean up their property out. You didn't have to do nothing.
And still helping.
We had cousins come to get somebody to come to the property and clean it off. They didn't help do anything.
So I don't know.
So what do you need to be owed back? Especially why are we owing you anything when you have nothing to do with this property?
And why are we owing you when you took more out of it than anything?
So do you guys want the property or are you guys suing for money? I guess, what are you asking?
We asked them to put the property back the way it's a family's property. Why your daddy name on it? That's my thing. And then they have their daddy, Emmanuel Jackson, that his name is on it as if his property.
You want to know what's so funny about all of this? We didn't even want to go that far as suing and everything. We literally came and said, hey, how about we all come together, pay this mess off, put it back like it was, and let it go. Nope. Because they wanted to put schools, different businesses, and we're small-minded and don't see on something that's ours.
We have no vision. According to
we don't have a vision.
Well, maybe your vision is, you know, to keep everything the way it is. That's a vision within itself. I mean, you know, it could be a historical land site. It could be all kinds of things. But
it really
is. It isn't always about the money.
Right. Exactly. It's not about the money because, to be honest, we grew up so close. There were a row of houses on their property. My grandmother and them had a row of houses. Nobody ever had to pay for anything. The most they paid for was a light bill and a gas bill.
And they took care of everybody.
And my grandfather took care of when I say took care of everybody. And you should know, if you knew how many grandkids he have, that's a lot. We make our own mass choir by ourselves. And for you to go over there, for us, it's not even about money. It's about memories that you tore down. when they first had it knocked down, I used to go over there and cry every day. And thinking they took things out of that house, saw they bulldozed it down with my grandmother's furniture and everything in it. It's not about money for us. I could care less about money. You wiped away something that they built for us.
Everybody agreed to keep the houses on the property, so that way, when our grandmother and our grandfather, our spiritual part, they was a spiritual part in our life. When you go through hard things, you go over there to them and they pray for you. They do this, they do that for you. They love, they take care of you. You took that away. It meant nothing to you, but you don't know what it meant to other people.
It was so many people. They knew so many people. I mean, took people in they never knew. So everything for us it'll never be about money for us.
And a lot of people feel like, well, it's just buildings. Why but they're in your heart. You know, it is in my heart. But sometimes that love is visual. I need to see it. I want to sit over there in that chair that my grandfather used to sit in. I want to lay in the bed my grandmother used to lay in. Yes, she's always in my heart. But I always I watched her sit down there and put a floor down, putting roof and shingles up on the dog. That's not something you want to bulldoze down.
Right.
That's where my anger comes in. And then you turn around and look at us like it's our fault. We don't have a right to be mad. Yes, we do. Then you turn around and have somebody else parents taking care of it. Something that y'all continuously doing. She getting talked to by crazy from judges about what she's doing, her probably gonna be taken from her. No, she's not even the one that put herself in this hole that she's trying to dig herself out of. It's y'all hole that she digging out of. And it gotta stop. However, it's going to stop.
It's just anger.
I don't have a question. I know some people directed some fucked up comments to me tonight. So, ladies, I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna do. I'll destroy her for you. I'll do it my motherfucking self. Y'all out there asking all them questions, I answer them questions. I don't give a fuck who paid the taxes on the property. Only thing I know is an old lady laid some goddamn floors down. She put some shingles on the fucking roof. Somebody need to stand up for her. The OG gonna stand up for her. And if you motherfuckers out there that want to bring this gangster shit to my level, bring it. You don't scare me. I bleed just like you bleed. I will fuck your ass up. Y'all got me free of charge, and I will destroy this funky bitch myself.
Now, I do want to say this. If you want to ask who paying the taxes, Mary James is paying the taxes. And guess who that is? That's my mother. She's paying those taxes.
She's paying those liens.
She's paying those liens that she didn't put on now. All of that is being paid from her check. She's on Social Security.
She's on Social Security now. She doesn't work. She got a pension. And she's paying all of this out of a pension.
She's paying that. We're giving her money towards that. We've got some cousins that trying to give her money towards stuff.
I took out loans.
It's not one Jackson offering to help pay any of that. And I know you want to say and I don't really want to speak on her, God forgive, but I know their mom has also supposed to have paid doing the loans and stuff like that. But we're talking about the loans that she didn't put, that Mary James didn't make. If you went and get a loan, it's right that you pay that loan. It's not right that you get a loan and I pay for it.
Right.
Now, if you decide to go get a loan, $19,000 loan, $125,000 loan, and you'll be garnished because of that. That's by right. Is you the one got the loan. By right. And like me, if you feel like you wanted some help, why don't you go help your mom pay those loans? Or you could have came to us nicely and asked, okay, this is what happened, and explain to us what was going on, and this is what, because we asking y'all questions, and you mad at us, we asking questions. We have the right to ask questions. What's going on? What did you do? What happened? Everybody dumb. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody pointing a finger at the next person, but you won't explain to us what's going on. Since you don't want to talk about it, and you don't want to face it, we have no choice but to go by what we see on paper. And mind you, this ain't no paper that we wrote up. This is paper we went and paid for from the city. So I have no choice but to go by these papers saying NJ Mortgage. Who is NJ Mortgage? Newsom and Jackson? Who is that? Tell me. Who is Emmanuel House? Tell me. Because y'all names show up on all these false documents over and over and over again. Who own those companies?
Well, let me ask you a question since people questioning my ability to ask questions. Let the detective side of me tap in. So you own the property, but yet you also own the mortgage company or the loan company that's dealing with the property.
Right.
That don't sound strange to me. Some of y'all out there, y'all smarter than me, so you tell me.
Right.
Right.
So, my dad is the second oldest of 22. My mom is the oldest of 12. We're from Louisiana. I was born in Louisiana, but I'm a California kid. So I kind of understand some of you guys' dynamics. So how many ancestors do you guys have as a unit?
As far
Yeah,
as
it's a
my,
lot.
it's a lot.
Oh,
Right,
Lord, it's
right.
a lot.
You put in the grandkids and all that, and
The grandkids alone is a lot.
right.
That's not even including the great grandkids.
Probably 100 grandkids.
Yeah, I'm
Not
the
even
second
including
oldest.
the great
I'm
grandkids.
the second oldest of 65 grandkids that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something like
of
that.
whatever.
It's something like that.
My
And
grandfather said he wanted a big family.
yeah,
Yep, he had a
yeah.
big family.
And I remember when my grandmother died, and she had this property, and I was in the military at the time, and I think I was somewhere, and they wanted to sell part of the property, or something was going on, and my dad had passed. He's a Vietnam guy, and so me and my brother are the heirs. So they can't do anything without me and my brother saying so, as speaking for my dad's share as his heir of that property. Right. And, I don't want nothing to do with it. I know my dad wanted my grandmother to have a certain thing. So whatever good for my grandmother, I said, okay, fine. So I signed over my part, and everything went, let his brothers and sisters fight over it. But I used to say this all the time. With all of these brothers and sisters, with all of these grandkids, whatever the bill is, or whatever grandmama needs, or whatever the thing is, because out of 65 grandkids that I'm the second oldest of, you're talking about 53 of them are adults and have jobs.
Exactly.
Now you add in the aunts and the uncles. Why should there be any financial problems when it comes to that property?
Exactly.
Because regardless of how much somebody makes, you can't force them to give their money. You can only ask, and they can tell you yay, and they can tell you nay.
We have a few of them that are at least giving something, like each month or whatever, but
yeah, because in my situation, I always deferred to the oldest sibling. That's the person that's going to make the decision, which is we all get involved, but you see what I'm saying? 65 something people, you're asking me to give you $20 a month.
Exactly. And
that's nothing.
And I said that because $20 out of 50 people, that's a lot of money, and that'll cover a lot. But people don't get that.
Yeah, they'd rather have their weed, they'd rather have their cigarettes, they'd rather have their drinks and whatever.
They'd rather have their mothers crying and trying to figure it out, and they're old. Yeah.
Taking their Social Security and their limited things like that. So, I mean, this is not an unusual story. You guys have been fighting this for a very, very long time. This lady now has a position on the school board, I believe, or whatever. And, I don't know how much the school board in Houston pays, but it still has a lot of influence in what she's doing. So as she's flipping this property and she's doing this, where is the money from all of this flipping going? Have you guys been able to track that down?
Nope. So that's why we asked Tarsha what
there was a point where they got FEMA money before. And that money was supposed to be I think it was during Hurricane Ike, they got the FEMA money. And the last flood, I think that was like 2 years ago or something, we tried to get, mind you, they used the FEMA money, they used the church as what needed the repairs. But when they got the FEMA money, they did not use it on the church. It went elsewhere. So how we found that out is because we tried to do it the last flood. I forgot, I think like a year or two ago, a really bad one. And they told us no, because y'all already had FEMA money before for this church. And we were lost, really? And we never knew about it. Never.
And no repairs went to that church.
No repairs, nothing.
You got
at all.
And no accounting of any of this money that has come through for the property. So all of these liens, she can't provide any receipts. Hopefully in court, they will bring that out. But you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that have just disappeared. And I bet she drives around in a Mercedes and all that other.
Oh yeah, they driving like what the big GMC Terrains and stuff. I've looked into those because I wanted one and I know how much they cost, and BMWs and everything. I've looked into those, and big houses. Yeah, I know. Majority of them got big houses. Yeah, they go on trips every year.
So Charlie Jones, how you doing, Charlie Jones? They say the district attorney is looking into this case for B. Now, to y'all, what does it mean when you hear that the attorney is looking into it? I mean, because from what we hear and what we see, it looks like it's fraud. Like she doesn't belong there, right? She doesn't live in the district. So to y'all, what does it mean when you hear that the district attorney is looking into it? And Gary, can you answer that as well?
I'll answer it for him. The district attorney ain't looking into nothing.
I was about to
You know why the district attorney ain't looking into nothing? Because I don't send the affidavit until the night. Yeah, Tarsha, I'm on your ass. She'll be looking into it tomorrow. Now, they're not looking into it. When you look at this case and you understand what is going on, a lot of people got a lot of opinions. One, you shouldn't have an opinion if you ain't been through it. Two, this has been ongoing. They've been fighting this for years. Three, you looking at some people that have threatened people physically. So this is what slowed the process down. So, but I'm going to just tell y'all, they threaten the family and all that. I'm not the family, so I ain't worried about the threat. I'm filing my paperwork tonight, and the district attorney better do her goddamn job, or she going to have motherfucking problems with me. Because I'm sick of it. The city protects these people, and people just like them. But me and you, Demetria and Donovan, we run a red light that beat our fucking brains out. But these people, we just heard this lady say that they misappropriated federal funds from FEMA. And nobody says nothing. In the city of Houston, they don't say shit because 98% of them been doing the same shit Tarsha Jackson been doing.
So it doesn't sound like, and I'm assuming is that Kim Ogg that's supposed to be looking into it? Is that who it is?
Into it once I send this document tonight.
So then what Charlie was saying is not true then. She's not looking into it because you haven't sent the affidavit.
There is no official complaint that has been filed.
So Charlie, if you're still watching, how do you know that? What would make you say that she is looking into the case if nothing official has been filed for her to look into it? But clearly she knows about it, right? I mean, it's kind of been all over. So
they know about it, D, because remember, this was doing right after George Floyd. I started screaming at this woman that live in no motherfucking District B. They knew, the mayor knew, the city attorney knew. They want her in there. They putting the key in her back to use her to do fraudulent shit. They want her in there. She has the ability to write grants. The money never goes where it's supposed to go. That's why I don't give a fuck, Tarsha, if you want to sue me. Motherfucker, I got a lawnmower. Sue me, you ain't gonna get no money up out me. But the real is the real, and it's time for these motherfuckers to go away. See, for the last 4 years, we done blamed Trump for every fucking thing in the world. But we done sat here on the local level and watched these black politicians shit on us every day. I am tired of it. You are supposed to be a public servant, and you're nothing more than a motherfucking criminal without the goddamn cell.
So why do y'all think a lot of people aren't really up in arms about it, especially the people who live in District B? Because I would think you'd be hearing a whole lot of noise about it and people will be mad and, you know, banging down City Hall and say, hey, this is some fraud that's going on. Why do you guys think people are just kind of like,
That's my question. That's my question. I'm like, if you want somebody to be over, you want somebody to help your community, how are you going to expect somebody to help your community that put more in their pocket than they put in yours? They put in their pocket, they're going to be filling their pockets up, and then you're going to still have them same libraries, you're going to have them same bus stations, broken streets. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
So Charlie, I see you say I'm still listening. So do you know something in regards to why the district attorney is looking into it if there's not been anything officially filed? And ladies, if because I'm sure she's watching by and somebody's telling her about it, what would you say to her? Now that you have her attention, what is it that you want her to know like the most? What's mostly on your mind that she should know?
Do the right thing. And if you feel like you're innocent, tell your story. Let's hear your side of the story.
Prove it.
What's the right thing? What, like, be specific to her. She's watching. What's the right thing?
If your name ain't on the documents, if you didn't do anything, bring the papers. Prove it. Prove you didn't do it. Prove your name isn't on anything. Prove you had nothing to do with any of this. Prove it. Prove where you live. Because we know it ain't 6206.
And who all funded you?
Right.
Pull those documents. If your daddy funded you, that means you took money that he took off that property and funded you. You just as guilty. Even if you felt like your hands ain't dirty, if your daddy, your sisters, any of them funded you with what money, you just as guilty because you allowed them to put their dirty money they took from other people into your campaign. And you knew the stuff was dirty. Because we've been yelling at y'all for years about this. We've been going through this for years now. Before you even was trying to run for anything. We've been going through this. So this ain't got to do with jealousy about you running.
Hold on a second. I seen my good friend, attorney Paula Robney, on that. What did I just say needs to be filed? A pro warrento, a quo pro warrento lawsuit. Ain't that what I said? Say, man, Tarsha, I'm coming see you. I don't have to be an attorney to come see you. I'm gonna fuck over you the same way you fucked over your auntie. I'm gonna make you eat shit. But right now, you know what old 5-star gonna do to you? Do to her, Demetri? I'm finna spoon feed you fat until you get old enough to eat this shit I got for you. Resign your position, or I'll make sure that you end up in a federal penitentiary.
So, one of my last questions for you guys. Now, you knew your cousin was running. She's excited. She's telling you guys all about this. You guys know she didn't live in the district. Did you guys let her opponents know or let the district people know, hey, this isn't who we think she is? Right now, we're involved in a lawsuit because here in California, we had a lady that was under an FBI investigation, and I made sure everybody knew what was going on with that. And that lady got recalled out of the seat. Of course, they didn't do anything to her, and then she came back on the seat, whatever. That's a different story. But the point is, though, the people had to know, what was going on. And, to me, if I was a voter and I'm saying, well, these are her cousins saying this, that would really pique my mind as a voter to say, well, what's really going on here? If she doesn't live in the district and she's not eligible to run, how is she and her family speaking out against her?
We actually did go to one of her the campaigns, and was it a campaign? They was doing a runoff. Yeah, and basically we spoke to each person that was on the podium, but because they kind of knew she was going through a lawsuit, they was kind of trying to play it safe. So that's why they knew she was going through a lawsuit, and they didn't want to make it seem like that since she's going through a lawsuit, we were behind them. So it's kind of something on the legal part for them, but everybody knew.
Because I know
we spoke to everybody. We actually kind of argued with them after the thing was over in front of everybody. So they knew.
So let me ask you this, and I know it's a family thing, but I'm a political guy, and I just know how politics works. I'm your cousin. You guys are blowing me up. One thing I call politicians political vampires, and they're political vampires because when you shine the light on their record or their shady past, something they don't want it, right? Like a vampire, they don't want light. Yeah. If she came to you and said, look, I can do something for you. I can make, have Mayor Turner do this or do that. Let's let this all go away. Let's bygones be bygones. Would you guys be willing to mediate and settle this dispute, basically? Or are you guys at a point of no return?
To be honest, if she came at us like that right now, that'd be kind of unethical. I'm gonna be honest, because she's in that position, and if we basically, oh, I'll help y'all, it's about the money. It's not about the money for us. It's not about money. And she can't fix. Up to be honest, she can't fix it. Maybe with my mom and them, she can't. They can, because they're Christian people, and they want to just keep the peace. But it's not about that for us no more. We went through too much.
I'm gonna say this: you was given the chance to make it right. You was given that chance multiple times.
Yeah.
And you turn around and continue to slap people in the face and expect us to just say nothing. At this point in time, you're only going to come and try to say what you want to say if they even do that. Because Tarsha's very stubborn person. I doubt she'll do that. She's very stubborn. A lot of them are very stubborn. But my answer be no. It's nothing you give. It's not about you giving me anything. It's about you doing the right thing. Because I don't care about the money. It's about you doing the right thing to your aunties who have loved you and who have raised you and who have done nothing but good to you all your life. And then for y'all to get in, and I'm not going to just say her, I'm saying y'all, for all of y'all, and for y'all to get in y'all grown up ages and just dog them like that and have no remorse. No, it's nothing you can say to me about that. You need to do the right thing. You need to apologize to all of them. You need to let them know, look, I'm sorry for the things I said or I did or whatever. And that's all of them. It ain't just Tarsha for me. It's all of them. And you know who you are. I'm not talking. You know who you are when I'm talking to you. Claudette, Tarsha.
I want you to sit tight. I want you to sit tight. Because before they sentence her, she's going to say everything that you just said. She's going to apologize to everybody before they sentence her. You're not going to get away with this. And Cam Rock said, no, we don't need to go to racist, criminal ass Paxson. Yes, we do. And I'm going to tell you why, Cam Rock. Because Black Girl Magic ain't going to get it done. Your DA ain't going to get it done. The city attorney ain't going to get it done. So when you think about it, the only one that's white is Kemal. So I tell you what I got to do. I got to stop dealing with my people and take my ass up there to that racist ass white boy and ask him for one thing: follow the law. Follow the law, get it done. And this will help slow down and possibly stop some of this corruptness that is going on. See, bottom line is, I don't give a damn if Paxson racist or not. I don't even follow him. I don't know, don't give a damn. We need somebody who has the power to arrest these people and do what needs to be done. It's not like the city of Houston didn't know this woman didn't live there. They needed her in that position. And now that they do know, why hasn't she resigned, or they forced her to resign? Because whatever the plan is, it's a whole lot of money tied up in it. Final thoughts, Ms. Demetra?
Well, my final thoughts are this, and Gary, you said something a little while ago, and that's, a lot of people, especially the Democrats, liberals, they like to hold Trump's and his administration, all those people follow him, their feet to the fire, but they allow Democrats, to get away with the nonsense. And we've always posed this question on the show, like, while people, and I'm one of those people who said Trump needed to go, but who's doing more harm in the neighborhood you live in? Was it Trump, or was it the politicians that you keep re-electing that do nothing for you, or people like Tarsha Jackson who stole a seat? And if she's still in the seat, she's not intending on helping people there. She's intending on helping herself. So when you're getting ready to blame the Republicans and, Trump and all of them, even though he's leaving office, think about the same people who are supposed to represent you and do nothing for you. Think about them and think about holding them accountable like you held Trump accountable. I guarantee you'll be a lot better off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can only amen that. Ladies, again, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show and sharing this. Another story of a Democratic politician doing what politicians do. There's no difference between a Democrat or a Republican. It's always about the money. It's always going to be about the money. This show is all here on the West Coast. I share it on my little thing here on the West Coast. So this lady's name is Mud here on the West Coast as well as down there. But this type of story happens all the time in Black families. And I really hope that people that are watching this really, really learn, because I know you guys are wasting thousands of dollars just getting lawyers, stopping the lien, late fees, and all that other stuff that could be going towards grandbabies' graduation. And you could have taken that money and made a stipend to do scholarships within your own family. And we're talking about land. Here in California, it's very hard to get land. A shack will cost you $1,000 a month to rent. There are so many stories we hear here of back down there in the South where Black people, families, or the grandkids are willed land and property, and then Mr. Charlie comes in and they lose that property because they're not paying the property tax, or there's some kind of shenanigans going on. And you're talking about thousands and thousands of acres that have been in your family. It might be only been there a couple of generations, or maybe 3 or 4 generations, but still, you're still looking at over 100 years. And that's the legacy that's built. And like you said, it's not about the money. You can't put value on sentimental. I used to love to go to New Orleans before Katrina because it had that old style New Orleans feel. You go there now and it's kind of like, because they modernized it, and it just isn't there. So I feel what you guys are saying when it comes to, even if you wanted that lot just to remain the way it was, maybe that's a memory from your childhood. Maybe that's a memory you want to give your children and your grandchildren. My grandfather, a real quick story, he is the last person on his block, and he actually lives in this slave shack. The city can't wait for him to die because they're going to zone it out, and knock the slave shack down. That's what they want to do. But he's still there. So whenever, when the Black Museum opened up in Washington, D.C., everybody's like, oh, yeah, the Underground Railroad, the Black, whatever that museum is. I said, I don't have to go down there. I can just go to my grandfather's house and I can see Slave Shack, right there. So continue to stay fighting. Please stay in contact. You've got a lot of resources out here, and we're going to follow this story up. So don't be surprised that you guys will hear from us again.
Okay.
Sir, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You can't see because I didn't put it up. See that signature at the bottom of that affidavit, Tarsha? I'm gonna hurt you. And I'm gonna hurt you because of what you did to your aunt. I understand the dynamic of a bit.
Define hurt.
Define hurt. I think in a court of law, according to the federal lawsuit that I filed, defining it is not on my part. They can assume that I want to physically do or something. I can kill Tarsha Jackson with an ink pen and a piece of paper. I don't have to do nothing to you physically. That's why I'm not worried about nobody doing nothing to me physically. The way I plan on destroying you is in a court of law amongst your peers. The same people that have allowed you to operate like this will be the same people that have to put you away. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, Miss Jackson. I ain't going to kick it with your partners down in Harris County. I'm going to take it up to Austin, Texas. I'm going to take it to Austin, Texas. But I'm going to just file this in Harris County to get the ball rolling. But I ain't going to play with you down in Harris County. Y'all got Harris County bought and paid for. You got it bought and paid for. Let's take it to the, let me put it away so y'all can get it. Let me take it to the white man. The white man that don't give a fuck about prosecuting no Democrats right now. As long as you can prove it. You feel what I'm saying? And that would be considered voting fraud. Am I correct? Donovan and Dimitri, if we can prove that she doesn't need to be in beef. So, Mr. Lieutenant Governor, you got my money ready. You can put it in a briefcase, homeboy. Because I told you what was going on down here in Harris County. You guys, it takes a lot of courage to do what you did tonight. And It takes a lot of courage to do what you did. I'm gonna get with my girl Paula Robner. We good friends. She one of the best African American female attorneys. Well, African American attorneys in town. Don't matter if she male or female. She's a bad motherfucker. And we finna put them screws to you, Tosh. Don't send your people at me, because I don't want your money. When I tell you to pick up that phone and call me, every one of you politicians sitting out there know what the assignment is. And if you choose not to, the next time you getting the dick, you're gonna be thinking about 5 Star. I can guarantee you, because I'm gonna invade your spirit. And I'm not going nowhere until I finish the assignment. So do me a favor. I'm gonna put some rock music on for you tonight, Tasha. I want you to get in a better spirit about yourself. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the greatest conversation in the world. It's the War Zone with my good friend Donovan Sadiq, the Queen Demetra K. I'm the 5-star general. Say, Tosh, welcome to my world. Bye-bye.